Thank you, Idayu. Before I start the presentation, I have just like 2 questions to discuss, so that in the course of my presentation, you can take the time to think about it. And also, sorry, let me just get this. So, question number 1. If there's no police or law enforcement in this world, will crime rates go up? Second question. A mayor wanted to implement a bus service in his town with no ticketing system, but using an honor system. Honor system means if you want to pay, you pay. If you don't want to pay, you can skip. So will this work? Professors, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and Happy New Year to all of you. My name is Ching, and today my topic of presentation will be plagiarism prevention, setting a level playing field for researchers and students. A bit about me. I'm from LibraryForce, Business Development Manager, and I've been working with high-ed content and library solutions for the past 8 years. So besides the Turnitin product, I also take care of RFID, meaning radio frequency identification for libraries, and I also deal with ebooks for higher ed. And we are the exclusive Turnitin reseller for 20 countries, including Singapore. And no prizes for guessing. Those are my 2 kids, my 4-year-old boy and my newborn daughter, 5 months old. Very happy. Now, what is plagiarism? Now, according to the Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary, to plagiarize means to steal and pass off as one's own, to use another's production without crediting the source, to commit literary theft, to present as new and original an idea or product derived from an existing source. So this is the definition or the meaning. Now, why do people plagiarize? There was a survey conducted by iParadigms. iParadigms is the company selling or promoting Turnitin, and these are the reasons that came up from the students. So I just want to highlight the two most so-called the used excuse for plagiarism. One is the ease of getting information from the internet or online resources, as well as nobody will find out. Why do people plagiarize? This is from another author by the name of Mr. Robert Harris. He authored the book called Anti-Plagiarism Strategies for Research Papers. He said that kids plagiarize because they want to finish the work in the least possible amount of time, because the work is not a priority for them, because they procrastinate, because they have poor time management and work management skills, and because they have no confidence in their own writing abilities. When I was reading this, right, I was thinking I was a student before. So this was what I was perceived as. Now, some students, of course, plagiarize because they can, and others really don't know they are plagiarizing. Now, there are different types of plagiarism. These are all that I've done some research, and it's a list of them. The ghostwriter, the photocopy, the potluck paper, the poor disguise, and so on. Now, I highlighted in red because I think this is the mostly used type of plagiarism. The writer tries to disguise plagiarism by copying from several different sources, twigging the sentence to make them fit together while retaining most of the original phrasing. So, I was using this when I was a student. Sorry. Now, other types of plagiarism. The forgotten footnote, the misinformer, the too-perfect paraphrase, the resourceful citer, and so on. You can read most of these through the website called www.plagiarism.org. Now, where then do people plagiarize? They plagiarize from 3 sources: from their peers, meaning from their students or their co-workers, from World Wide Web or the internet, as well as from online databases from publishers. So like publishers like ProQuest, Emerald, and so on. Now, there are different ways to reduce plagiarism. One, of course, is the first will be through long-term education, meaning to best to educate them when they're young, and to tell them that it's ethically wrong to plagiarize, as well as to inculcate the benefits of citing and giving credits to the original writer. Now, having more whistleblowers out there will also help, but this is not prevention. This is to whistleblow on your friends, which is something that I don't think everyone would like to do this. Last but not least, which I think is most effective, is to have a scanner to scan your works before submission. Now, there are many plagiarism detection tools out there. So before we found Turnitin, we were doing some research. We found that there are a few players already in the market. They are SafeAssign, Dockerlog, Kun, and so on. Back in the year 2007, September, we found Turnitin to be the best in terms of the usability, in terms of the engine, and so on. Now, Turnitin belongs to iParadigms, a company formed in 1996. They're based out of San Francisco in Oakland. And to date, right, Turnitin is the biggest education tool provider with more than 8,500 institutions worldwide. So including schools, polytechnics, junior colleges, universities, higher eds, and so on. And of which, one point to note is that out of these 8,500 institutions, 4,500 institutions are K-12 schools. K-12 means kindergarten to grade 12. Of course, I want to qualify here is that when I refer to K-12 schools, right, not all the students are using this system. It's only from the grade 9 to the grade 12. Those that's doing project work, those doing some research work. So grade 9 to grade 12. Now the figure 4005 reveals two things. One is that more and more schools are starting to inculcate the concept of anti-plagiarism when they're young. And number two is that with 8,500 schools, there's this value in it. The value is the network effect. Let me just share something about network effect. Now, if you look at this diagram here, if you join the network, the one at the bottom, straight away you'll be accessing to a network of many users. So having more users will increase the value of the network. The speed camera effect. Now this is there's this article from these two researchers. One is from the Harvard University, and a quote from this article: warning students not to plagiarize. Even the strongest terms appear not to have any effect whatsoever. Revealing the use of plagiarism detection software to the students prior to the completion of an assignment, on the other hand, proved to be a remarkably strong deterrent. So I term it as a speed camera effect. So if you drive along the highway, right, if you know that there's a speed camera, most likely you'll keep to within the speed range, most likely. So this proved to be a very deterrent effect on the users. Some key metrics for Turnitin. About 130,000 papers submitted daily by the students. So students from K-12 all the way to the higher educational. About 450,000 instructors using. More than 106 countries with multiple languages. So I'm happy to say that by this year, 2009, first quarter, there'll be 30 languages ready. So in Thai, in Chinese, and so on. Okay, so users from those countries will be able to access a localized interface. And Turnitin searches across 3 major databases. One is the World Wide Web. So today they have indexed 12 billion web pages. 10,000 subscription-based periodicals and journals, as well as more than 70 million student papers. So you can see that the network effect is there. So these are the articles that Turnitin indexes. Some of you may have heard of this consortium of publishers called Crossref. So Crossref consists of some of these publishers. So Turnitin has tied up with Crossref to index all these databases. And the publishers' participation is growing. So for the publishers, right, they are happy because they would in turn know that who is plagiarizing their content. So it makes sense for the publishers to join in. Other key Turnitin metrics, as to date, right, they have more than 15 million users, okay, students as well as instructors, and it's projected to reach 30 million by the year 2010, so next year. Now, how does Turnitin works? So this is just a very simple explanation of how it works. Now, whenever a student submits a paper or an assignment, it will be converted into like a digital signature, like a thumbprint. And this in turn will be compared with all these databases, namely the internet, student papers, journals, as well as e-books or any other publications. And then the system will generate an originality report. So this is another graphical view of how it works. So the user submits, get checked, compare, and the original report is being generated for the lecturers to view it or for the students to view. Now, other components of the engine is being put into the comparison. Things like detection of the ability to detect word substitution or alteration. So this is the original manuscript from Macbeth, and this is something that a person who plagiarized this, and then he or she started to add in words. So Turnitin is able to detect those, as well as the detection of sentence or paragraph addition. So this is just another example. Now, this is an example of an originality report. On the left, right, this is the student's assignment or the paper. And on the right, this is where the engine, right, has detected that this part could have been plagiarized from this website. So it's color-coded. So blue will link with the blue, and so on. Now, the advantage of having an originality report is, let me give you an example. Now, this is a scenario. Okay, I was talking to a medical professor from NUS, and I was asking him, do you actually know whether your students could have plagiarized? And his answer was that he would know where the student might have plagiarized. Okay, so a scenario could be, without any originality report, the professor or the instructor will ask the student, I think you have plagiarized. The student, of course, will say, no, I did not. So the students will reply, the professor will say, no, yes, you did. The student will say, no, I did not. So this goes on and on. Okay, even if this were to be highlighted to the parent will say, no, I don't think my kid has plagiarized. Now, think about it. If you have an originality report, the professor will approach the student and say, look here, how do you explain this? Okay, look here, how do you explain this? So it's more credible. At least you have something to show that the paper, parts of it, or even the whole paper could have been plagiarized from the different sources. This is something that is only ready recently. It also checks content in a different language. So currently it supports 30 languages, including CJK, meaning the 2 Chinese, traditional and simplified, Korean as well as Japanese. So as a student, it's very hard to hide. So this is traditional Chinese. and also Thai. So this is Thai. From Thai Wikipedia. Okay, so Turnitin also index Wikipedia. And also iPhone ready or iPod Touch ready. So of course, due to the form factor, so you cannot view everything. Now, there have been a lot of questions like to Turnitin is that you have so many content in your database. So is it fast enough? Just some statistics to show you. If you look at this quadrant all the way to here, all this part is under 5 minutes. So if you add up if you add up 23%, 27, then 15 will be 65 plus 16 will be 81%. So 81% of most of the papers, right? The original report gets generated under 5 minutes. So those that's above 5 minutes, right, are usually you're writing a storybook or even writing a thesis. So that will take longer. Now, Turnitin being based in the US, right, they were actually sued in 2007, okay, in a district in Virginia, in the US, 4 students sued Turnitin for breach of copyright. Okay, so just beginning of last year, which is 2008, the judge made a ruling. Okay, Judge Claude Hilton said that though iParadigms made a profit in providing this service to educational institutions, its use of student works adds a further purpose or different character to the works and so on. Now, last but not least, Turnitin helps protect the papers from being exploited by others who might profitably claim them as their own work. So instead of Turnitin violating the copyright of students, right, Turnitin is in fact protecting the rights of its users. So this is the ruling from the US judge. Okay. Now, besides plagiarizing text, we notice that there's emerging forms of plagiarism. One of which is the plagiarizing graphical works. It's very difficult to detect. So this is an emerging form of plagiarism. Another form of plagiarism, it happens in China. What we have found is that there are some researchers that take English papers, translate to Chinese, and submit as their own work. So that is very hard to detect because we need a way to reverse engineering, meaning reverse translate to English and then compare with the database. So these are emerging forms of plagiarism. One of the users of Turnitin is the Oxford University. I got this on the website. So they are also very into this anti-plagiarism kind of code of conduct. Hong Kong University. Okay, this is a university nearer to our shores. So Hong Kong universities, and also the NUS, National University of Singapore. There's this link here. I just want to show you this. I thought this is quite well done. So for those who have not seen this, right, I just let you have a glimpse of it.
Let's begin with a specific example. At first glance, it may seem simple enough, and indeed, some parts of it are simple. There are, however, also some more complicated issues involved. In the following scenario, you will witness an enactment where 4 students discuss a group work activity. Please click on the play button to view and interact with the scenario. What do we mean by ethical?
I think
The word means to
I
do with
don't have much
morality.
time, so when you're free,
Here,
please take a look
we
at this
consider
link. I thought it's quite
morality
good.
in terms of...
I'd like to give some credits so that I'm not perceived to be plagiarizing. So these are the websites which I've obtained information from. Now, back to the questions. So these are my views. So I think crime rates will go up as nobody's watching and there's no arrest. As well as for the honor system in the town. Gradually, I think few or no one start to pay, the system will collapse. Because there's no more funding for the bus system. Now, conclusion, as the internet and databases continue to grow and newer technologies enable rapid dissemination of information, institutions need good plagiarism prevention tool to scan students' work. This will uphold the credibility as well as integrity of the certificates which the institution is awarding. And hereby, it will also set a level playing field for all the students as well as the researchers. Thank you and Happy New Year. Thank you.